Right, I'm now here in my library. My library has more than 5,000 manuscripts and old books. I've got encyclopedias that come from the 17th century. Often people ask me, why do you want an encyclopedia from 300, 400 years ago? Everything will be out of date. Well, those encyclopedias have certain information in them, things like the ether, which is the spirit world, if you like. It's the scientific explanation of the spirit world, is this etheric onion layer, if you like, that exists outside of the atmosphere of planet Earth. And many of the old encyclopedias talk about the ether. Nowadays, it's kind of called the Higgs field, and the ether is the Higgs field. Einstein came along and kind of wrote the ether out of physics, but the ether, which is actually the spirit world, was actually part and parcel of the world of physics at the time of Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton and Sir Oliver Lodge, who was the inventor of radio, and Sir William Crookes, who invented the Crookes tube that went towards the invention of television. All these guys, all these top scientific brains, all agreed that there was an etheric zone around our planet. Now, what's in the ether? Well, what's in the ether is spirits, is the energy, is the life force energy that animates all living creatures on planet Earth. And many people believe that there are spirits of plants and trees as well. And that's where this life force is. It's in the ether zone. But the ether doesn't just exist outside our atmosphere like a cocoon around the planet. The ancient Indian spiritual texts say that the ether is actually permeating all of us as well. So the ether is basically divided into several different parts. Just adjusting the microphone there. It's split up into higher and lower realms. In the higher realms, the ancient texts tell us of these things called archons. The lower realms, we have these demonic entities which are known in Judaic mythology as the Killapoth. They are husks of they're not fully formed beings. Many of these demons are, if you like, trial and error mistakes by the creative force of the universe, if you want to call it the Godhead. And the Knights Templar and many other cults, and many of the people who are members of these cults hate me and try and stop me from making these types of films. The Knights Templar worship those demonic entities in the lower strata of the astral planes or the etheric planes. And here I just want to show you gargoyles. Gargoyle is a word that comes from medieval French. It means gargling, like gargling with water. And these gargoyles, which are stone representations of the demons in the ether, were carved by the Knights Templar, by the guilds of stonemasons, and the rainwater from the roofs of these giant cathedrals runs through the throats of demons. And what happens is that on the cobbled streets below, the rainwater then splashes all over the peasants as they're walking by these medieval cathedrals. And what I believe is going on here is that this is a kind of sick joke. It's a sick demonic joke on the part of the Knights Templar, where they are basically baptizing the congregations in all these villages and cities where they built these cathedrals. And it's these gargoyles that represent the demons of the Goetia. The Goetia is an ancient grimoire, and as I said earlier, it features 72 demons who actually command other legions of demons, and this is what you're seeing on these medieval cathedrals that are actually carved by the stonemason guilds who became the Freemasons, and this was all funded by the Vatican and all funded by the Knights Templar. And you know, these are the stone. If you want to, you know, very often people ask me, what do these demons look like? Have a look at your local medieval church, have a look at your local medieval cathedral, and these gargoyles are very much psychically transmitted images which then the Freemasons carved for the Knights Templar. Now, how long has mankind been fascinated with the idea of spirits? Well, some of the oldest art in the world is not far from my house. This is an amazing artifact. It's dated between 25,000 and 40,000 years old. I'll say that again. What we're looking at here is between 25,000 and 40,000 years old. This is way older than anything that you'll find in Babylon or Sumeria. And what you have here is you have a lion-headed humanoid figure carved from a mammoth tusk. And this comes from the south of Germany near a place called and I've been there, and I travel around all the time, and I've been trying to teach myself German, which is pretty difficult as it goes. But I've taught myself little, you know, snippets of Sumerian, and I've taught myself little snippets of Latin, Spanish, French, German, and I travel all the time, and I buy manuscripts and you know, often go to auctions and things and see these types of things, and I interview curators. And this is an amazing artifact. It's a power figure, a power doll. And this was used in prehistoric times. This statue was used as a container for the spirit that would psychically communicate with the owner of this statue. Now, what used to happen is that a pact, a deal, would be struck in the rituals. And some deal would be done, say for example the spirit would agree to protect the local tribe, and when that pact was done, a notch would be carved into the arm of this figurine, and of course the figurine represents what the demon looked like, and we see it has a lion's head with the body of a man. And in the Goetia, we have 4 major spirits which have the heads of lions, but with kind of humanoid bodies. The 3 most important ones are Orbas, Orias, Marbas. And here we see a depiction of, this is the rear of a triplet statuette. This is from 3,000 years BC. This is 5,000 years old. And these are lion-headed kind of men. You know, they're upright walking men, but you see that they have hooved feet. This is very typical of the Goetic demons. They come through into your psychic mind with a combination of human and animal, amphibian kinds of forms. Anyone that tries to tell you that these demons are reptilian is oversimplifying the situation. In actual fact, there's very little reptilian iconography in the real sources, in the real artifacts of demonology which we have in the world's museums. Arizona Wilder, she got some things right, but most of what she's been telling people is not correct, and it doesn't tally with the artifacts which we see in the museums. And this comes from Sumeria. This comes from the area between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers. We now call it Iraq. And you can see that these are upright, humanoid type, lion-headed figures. And yes, they have horns as well. So you can see that they are a mishmash of different human, feline, and other animal kind of aspects to them. Now, what are the most important demons, and what are the demons, if you like, at the beginning or the start of human history? I've got a very, very good book here. It's in French. You'll see that most of the other researchers don't actually speak any foreign languages at all, so they wouldn't know about any of this stuff because they don't speak any foreign language. This here, right on the front cover, this is a depiction, a Celtic depiction actually, from the Celtic Empire, which stretched all the way from western Scotland down to Gibraltar and included Devon, Cornwall, the whole of Ireland, Wales, and Portugal. Portugal means the port of the Gauls, and the Gauls and the Celts are two cultures which are very interrelated. And here we see the classic face of the primary demons, or the primary spiritual entities known to mankind, and they are known as the Ogdode. And there's 8 of them, and they are amphibian, humanoid, reptilian creatures. Now, 4 of them have heads of snakes, and 4 of them have heads of amphibian toads or amphibian frogs. And it is these Ogdodes who created Aten. And this is at the root of the creation myths of ancient Egypt.
Ooh.